Welcome to the One Life, One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Today I have a very, 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 very important special guest. This is episode 101, so we can call this Parenting 101. Tomorrow, this young man turns into an adult. Welcome to the podcast, my son, Mr. Maximus Morse.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
What's your middle name again, Max?
Henry.
And where did that come from?
Henry Rollins. My mom wanted to do that.
Yeah, it's interesting, Max, because when you were born, you didn't have a middle name, and then Mama went down to the courthouse and didn't tell me, and she changed it to Henry.
Yes.
So I think that's kind of fucked up, but whatever. So Maximus Henry Morse. So Max, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you.
You're in there on the biggest podcast in the house.
Yeah, in the entire house.
It's honored to have
Wow.
you. It's honored to have you here. This happened with my mom on the episode last week. I don't really do question and answers, but we had people submit questions for you, and I'm gonna ask you some questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
First of all, I've known you your whole entire life, so it's an honor to have you here.
Wow, thank you.
And I made you.
It's an honor to be here.
I'm part of the.
In my own house.
I'm one of the people who made you.
Yes.
It's an honor to have you here.
Half and half. It's wonderful to be here.
So
My
Max,
house.
here's some questions. All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right. What are some of the biggest lessons you learned from your dad that I may not know?
This is on the spot, by the way. I'm gonna have to think of
All
each
questions
one
are
of these
all questions are on the spot. That's what the show's about.
Okay. What are some lessons that he has
In
taught
life lessons, I guess.
Life lessons. You don't need drugs or alcohol to have fun.
That's
And
a good one.
I could do them if I wanted to. My family doesn't, they're open to whatever. Obviously, they don't want me to, but I've just learned, and personally, I do not want to. It's like I was raised vegetarian. I can choose to eat meat if I want to now, but I choose not to because I don't want to do that. And so I was raised like most children are, not to do drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
Except it was just a little bit bigger of an impact on my life, and I just still choose not to do it. So
I respect that and appreciate that. And I love you for that.
It's the only lesson. Just kidding.
Max, is it difficulty navigating through schoolwork while you're on tour? I mean, most of the time
Usually it's during summer.
in the summer, yeah.
There was one time where I had to take off a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago when we went to South America, but
yeah.
I don't really remember how we did that, but I don't think it was that hard.
That's the one we got the scary letter from the school, like the tardy letter in the mail.
Your son will not pass if he skips another day of school.
Yeah, and then once we told the people at the school, like, yo, he was in South America, he was in this country, that country, then like, oh shit, they kind of thought that you could use that towards points because you're actually seeing the world. I thought that was cool. Like the response we got to that. Not many schools would do that. Is it difficult being in a touring environment, growing up in a touring environment?
Not really. I mean, your band's pretty nice, and H2O is pretty chill. They're all really like not crazy wild when I was alive. So
I mean, we're old and we're married, and
yeah,
it's old dudes. What is your favorite thing about being on tour?
Exploring. I think this was only last tour we did with Sharp Shock and Battery and H2O.
Yeah,
my favorite tour. And I know we'll probably get to that. And I was old enough to just literally walk around the city miles and miles away with my skateboard and just check it out by myself with my AirPods and just listen to music and exploring and having random people from their hometown take photos of some American in front of a big church. Yeah, that was fun.
That was an interesting time because that's the first time I realized, oh shit, this kid's becoming his own independent adult. Max would just take off from the venue on a skateboard in different countries and different cities and towns or villages and go out and just meet the local kids. And couple times Max pulled up to the venue like 5 kids he met randomly, like Italy or Spain, and brought them to their first punk show. Brings them on stage. I remember I can see them all standing behind the drums like, what the fuck? We met this kid from America. Now on stage watching his dad perform, and then you jump on the drums and play like, what the fuck? This kid's like an alien.
I remember we did that in Berlin. That was awesome. I just found like 5 kids like, yo, you guys want to come to a show tonight? And then like showing, we brought them backstage. It was like, oh my God.
It was so cool.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That Battery, we might as well talk about the Battery and Sharp Shock tour. It was incredible. Like, I grew up knowing the Battery guys, not really playing only shows here and there with that band, loving the McTurneys, just loving everybody in that band, Olden, and then meeting Metal Mike and sharing a bus with them and going on tour and just falling in love with Battery like they were a brand new band. Like, I love them dearly, even more than I did before. And that tour was such a family vibe.
Shout out Sharp Shock.
Sharp Shock as well.
That was one of the most most fun bus rides we've ever had.
Yes. It was like a double-decker bus.
It was a double-decker. We had battery, H2O, and Sharp Shock on there. It was the craziest ride.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
That was a great summer.
We had the great bus driver.
Yeah, we did. Was he great?
Yeah, he was the cool bus driver, dude.
Okay. I thought we had to fire somebody before. Yeah, so basically you've been raised on the road. People always ask me, like, why don't you have more kids? I'm like, having one kid is the best because we can travel with you. We got to take you to Japan. You've been to Japan twice. You've been to South America. You've been to Indonesia. You've been all over Europe. I remember you playing to 50,000 people on drums with us in Colombia. Like, as far as those countries and places are concerned, Indonesia was crazy too, but what are some of your favorite places you got to see? I mean, Japan, you were way too young. I need to bring you back there.
I remember Switzerland was only last year with Battery and them. That was beautiful when we went and we saw the
Swiss Alps.
Beautiful. Remember, it was the see-through blue water with the with the beavers and and then when we played, was that Slovenia when it was that like freezing water temperature, but it was like beautiful water.
Punk Rock Holiday.
Yes, that was awesome.
Surrounded by the lake and shit.
And I remember before that it was super hot, and me and Adam took like a 20-mile hike up the top of this mountain.
Got that cool picture. I remember that.
Like the highest mountain there.
You and Andreas,
me and him.
You and Andreas and Adam went across that pond.
Yeah, and then when we got back, we jumped in that water. It was freezing, like 50 degrees, but it was beautiful.
Me and Stigma chilled on the beach that day and watched, but it was great. Colombia was fun. You like Colombia?
Colombia was awesome. Oh, yeah, when we went to Brazil.
At Acai Bowls.
Yeah.
Indonesia was a crazy-ass fucking flight.
Oh, my God, Indonesia was awesome. When me and Adam also went and explored the local zoo with, like, the tigers didn't have cages there. I know we went first, and there was, like, no cages for the tigers. It was just out and everything. The monkeys were everywhere. It was beautiful.
Are those some of the best tour memories, you think?
Yeah. Also, when we went to... Oh, I love when we go to the UK.
I love it.
I don't know why. I just love it.
Walking the streets, walking through Camden Lock, all the good food.
Germany.
Great venue.
Germany's the best. I love when we go to Germany. We get the Italian food there.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, what's it called? We're going to fuck up. We're going to think about it when it comes back to us.
Yeah, we'll hit it.
Basically, it's like a Maggiano's, or it's like...
it's like a build your own. You can build your own pizzas, pastas, salads.
Yeah, but it's like a chain of Italian spots over there that's not the best... But for us, it is getting the
for
American
them.
food.
It's like when Americans say, "Oh, you want to go to Chipotle?"
Yeah.
And everyone's
you
like,
could build your own
or
salad.
In-N-Out. It's like In-N-Out. Like, oh, we're so over it. We've already had it.
We build our salads here, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Fuck, I can see the colors of the flag right now. Maybe we'll come back to us. So those are some of your best memories.
Yeah.
And do you ever get nervous performing live with your dad's band at festivals and stuff like that? What am I saying? There's a question.
Yeah.
You got nervous?
All the time.
It didn't seem like
because it's not my band. It's not the band. It's like nerve-wracking. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to play it to you guys.
I know, but still, I think you kill it. And I think that when you get on stage, you kind of lose that fear sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, like the Columbia shit was crazy, right? 50,000 people. That was scary. It's funny, all these questions, because tomorrow is your birthday. You could be 18 years old, and you're allowed to do the next question. Do you want to get heavily tattooed like me?
Tomorrow we're getting tatted.
I know, but do you want to get heavily tattooed like
No,
your dad?
I don't. I mean, I'm not saying you don't, but I have a very beautiful body, and I don't want to, like,
oh my God,
deface it, and I don't want to like mess it up or anything.
I hear you.
I have great skin.
I mean,
I just want to get them in places where it's not going to be that like, not that crazy to see. It's not going to be right on my neck or anything like that.
I talked about this before, but when I got tattoos, my mom was really like bummed, and then my grandmother started sending me letters that I ruined my body, that God put me on this planet with this perfect, pure skin.
That's not how I see it, but
I ruined my body. She was saying I ruined my body and shit. Like I destroyed something sacred. And she made me feel bad about it, but I said, fuck it, I'm keeping getting tattooed. But yeah, no like face, no neck, no hands, none of that shit, right?
No, probably not.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Yeah, you were raised, shout out to Tim Bergman from Nike, where Max was really young. We had Adidas sponsor Hazen Street for like 8 or 9 years.
I do like Adidas, but I'm more of a fan. They're very comfy, but I mainly wear Nike.
You were getting Nikes from the day you could walk. Blessed. We have a box of all
Jordans.
your shoes. We should post that after on this episode. Max says baby Nikes all the way up through. What grade, Moon, you think you get for your Nikes up into what grade, Mama? Yell it loud in the background. 4th or 5th grade, you were laced by Nike. All kinds of Frankenstein
Spider-Man
dunks,
Jordans.
Spider-Man dunks, all that shit.
Everything.
Thank you, Tim Bergman. I love you. So that's a good question. What kind of perspective on the world, since you traveled and saw all different cultures, you think that's made you more of a whole person? Like, I made you more of outgoing, I think, and more of a social person. And like you said, traveling into the towns you've been to, a foreign country by yourself.
Mexico
on a skateboard.
City, when we went there, there's a lot of culture.
Yeah. But you feel like you're like a world traveler. You already have 2 passports.
When me, my mom, and Rusty Pistachio, and no, I don't remember. And Heino, I think.
No.
No,
is it Hano or Heino?
Heino, it's Heino.
I love you, Heino.
But I remember, Mom, it was me, you, and Rusty, and we went somewhere in South America, and we traveled, and they were like, "Not, you shouldn't go there," but it was me, you, and Rusty, and those. Yeah.
That was with Will in Colombia.
Colombia.
Talk in the mic, please. Talk in the mic to say something, babe.
Will told us like.
Come to the mic, please, babe. I love
Will was like, I'm not even gonna go in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
you. He lives there, yeah.
Wow.
You traveled all through Colombia doing that. We love you, Will. So what else you saw out there you went to? Was there any earthquakes? We experienced an earthquake?
Yeah, when we went to Mexico City the first night we were ever there, we were in the hotel, and I will never forget. I was like, and it was like a 6.7, and there was like, oh, it's a tiny one, and I was like shitting my pants. I was like, oh my god, we're gonna die. It was the first night we were there. I remember that. Do you feel like you've learned more traveling around the world than you would in like a history book? Yeah. Oh, and I remember when we had a layover to going to. No, where were we going? We were going somewhere, maybe Indonesia or flying back. No, we had a layover in China, and there was like
Indonesia.
There was a typhoon or like a monsoon. And
yeah.
Everyone's like so normal. We just flew right through. It was the worst.
It was pretty scary.
Yeah.
You hate flying. We both hate flying.
I hate flying so
We're
much.
terrible flyers. Tell them what I do when we fly, where we have to sit.
Literally, I would love to sit in the very front, and I don't know why we ever do, because my dad likes to sit in the very, very, very back of the plane because it's not. He's in the very, very back of the plane, and it doesn't recline. It's the bumpiest part.
Sometimes they do recline though, Max.
Wow. It's the bumpiest part of the plane, and he's always like, it's the safest. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't feel like it.
Can I tell you what my insanity is?
I already know what it is. It's like if you think the plane goes down, you think it goes down nose first.
It's not even that. I have a weird thing about sitting near the bathroom, and I feel like I don't wait in line to go to the bathroom. I get really, if I have to get up and go to the bathroom, it's going to be open. Now I know it's like to do a podcast, and Mom's like, this is going so good, I want no interruptions. So yeah, the back of the plane by the bathroom, I have a weird thing about it. I'm sorry I've always forced you to do that, but you'll be 18 tomorrow, so when you can fly, you can pick your own seat. Okay. And you won't feel bad. But we've had some bumpy flights.
Colorado with me, you, and Toby Morse, and we all thought we were going to die.
Yeah. So somebody said, like, what are the differences between our generations? Obviously, a lot of kids don't want to work really hard. They want to be famous on YouTube. There's like TikTokers and all this different generation of new careers, I guess. Because back in our day, even some people think, oh, a musician's not a real job. So TikTokers and YouTubers.
What's your question?
That could be a career. Like the big major difference between our generations and like having to work for shit as a job as opposed to like just getting famous or going viral.
I don't really know any of my friends who actually really have a job.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know that many people that actually have a job.
Some of your friends flip shoes?
Yeah, but I mean like job. But I mean it's more creative nowadays. Like my friend has his own shoe company on Instagram. Not company, but he like he resells shoes.
Yeah.
But like no one I know actually works at like McDonald's or like nothing like that nowadays.
You can really make money off of YouTube and all that stuff. And
people just hope everything's going to go well for them, honestly.
And hope they're going to go viral as well, right?
Well, but I don't know a lot of people that like that stuff. But like, I know some people that just want to like expect that hopefully something will go well.
But is flipping shoes an actual job for kids that make actually real money? It's true, right?
Yeah.
And also YouTubing is actually real money, correct?
Yeah. It's
just doing silly jackass shit, kind of like that. What's the difference? So Max, TikTokers. Okay, Max, there's another question. So you already answered the question too about being straight edge and not trying things. This is something that you've realized at your age, around the people that have been around you, I guess, your age, all your friends who you love, just like I grew up, people who weren't straight edge as well. But you realize that you're pretty much a hyperactive kid who's high in life anyway and don't really need it, correct?
Yeah.
Is that your vibe?
Yeah.
Somebody said that they were there and witnessed when we were in New York and you were younger. Shout out to Connor, old bus driver. He put a DM about John Joseph teaching you how to throw snowballs at cabs.
I don't think I really ever ended up actually doing it, but it was still pretty crazy.
I forgot what year it was. It was surreal. Man, he's like, "Yo, watch this." He threw it at the cab, and the cab would stop. He's like, "What's up?" That was you were freaky. You were like, "What the fuck?" That was a pretty amazing moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great learning experience.
I forgot Connor wasn't there.
I love you, John.
Something interesting you may not know about your dad is that I didn't have a license until I moved here. And
37 were you?
33.
Damn.
And your mom said, hey, if you don't get your license, you can't drive to when I have a baby. You can't be there when your son's born. So I busted my ass, failed the test a couple times, and I ended up driving Mama there. I drove her there like an old lady, but I got her to the hospital. She had the baby, which was you. But now you have your permit. And you've been driving a lot lately, and you're
I know,
you're a really good driver.
I slacked on that. I got it really late. And now I can't get my license, and neither can any of my friends because of COVID. And you can't set up an appointment, and you can't make any, and you can't. All the ones that were already like reserved have been canceled. But I'm really planning on doing it as soon as I can because it'll make a lot of things easier if I do.
Totally. And then what was you remember your first drum set?
Yes.
It was a small red one?
Yeah, I can't tell you what Matt Skiba.
Skiba got the second one. There's a trio.
The first one was Chad, wasn't it?
Maybe. I'm not sure who got the first. Was that Chad who got the first drums in the show? Yes or no? And then
I think it was, and then I remember he played it, and he broke the middle cymbal because he was way too big for it, and I was like crying.
He was like elf on one of those chairs. Yeah, the trio one was the second one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And what do you think it was your love and your connection to drums at such a young age?
Just took all the energy out of me, and I had a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Still fun. I played just now for like an hour.
Yeah, great drummer.
Fun. It's just fun, and I don't know, making noise.
Who would be one of your most inspirational drummers you look up to? Like one of your couple of your faves. I know the answer, but you know what I mean?
Okay. Mackie
James, people listening, Bad Brains Chromags, if you don't know, one of the greatest drummers. Yes, Hazen Street, correct.
Mackie's style is immaculate. It's just like, it's really insanely
It's kind
good.
of it's aggressive in the pocket, but it's laid back.
Yeah,
like he looks
he's so chill.
Yeah, it looks like he's just sitting there chilling.
I mean,
I know TB too.
Yeah, Travis Barker, just the skill. I mean, his skill is really insane. His speed and his style is also pretty cool. And
his finesse.
Yeah, his finesse.
His flawless finesse.
It's really, really good.
And every day you're doing these things. They're called streaks. Can you explain to listeners what streaks are?
Did someone ask that?
I put that. It's my question.
What's your question?
Well, you're on Snapchat, so you do streaks. So you have a streak where you do 1,000 days in a row of streaks. Like, break down a streak to the listeners.
I think
how many years have you been doing
all
streaks?
of them know what a streak
is.
is.
All different ages listening.
I guarantee you. So for all you people out there who don't know what a streak is, I would say a streak is just a number, an amount of days that you have streaking like back-to-back days. You send a photo, so you send a photo at 1 p.m. one day, and the other person sends one, and you keep that 1 day streak, and you go for days and days and months and weeks, and then some people have year streaks, some people have 2 year streaks, 3 year streaks. Jesus. And if you miss a photo in between 24 hours, and one person sends a photo but you don't send one back, or you send a photo and they don't send it back, in 24 hours after that 1 p.m., you lose the streak. And a streak is just like, it starts to pop after 4 days. So then after 4 days of sending consistent photos, like 1 or 2 throughout the day, then you get that streak. It's like 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, like that. And I used to have really long streaks, and then I stopped, and then I started again, and then I'm
What's the longest you had?
I don't know, like 650. I know people who've had like over 900 though.
Is it safe to say that you only communicate through Snapchat with friends? You don't really text?
I have a group chat with all my friends on regular text. Is that was for use, but I don't use anything else for text unless it's you or my mom.
And how often do you call friends on the actual phone and talk on the phone?
Try to do it every single day.
Yeah,
with a couple of friends.
And that's pretty cool.
Some friends I only text on text. There's only 3 of those.
And how important is social media in your life as far as it's only
unhealthy? I love it.
Unhealthy?
It's too much.
But it's a communication tool for you more than anything. It's not
like I'm looking like, oh my god, I want to have his 10-pack, but like it's more like I just like checking out, seeing what people are doing or catching up. Especially since you're inside all the time, you can't actually socialize. So I'm on texting people, catching up, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Have you ever been in love?
Yes. That's the end of that question.
Okay.
We're done with that question.
Okay. Say if you have your heart broken.
Yes.
Slipknot or Fit for an Autopsy?
Ooh.
They're both super dope, and I'm going to talk about that with you.
Fit for an Autopsy has opened my whole, like literally the first metal band that I was ever introduced to. Metal, thrash metal, hard, like whatever you want to call. I would say that was the first, and that has to be the opening for me because that was the metal band that turned me on to everything. Everything opened my eyes from that band on that day forth. I remember the exact day.
We were on tour. Tell the story. Where were we? We were in Europe.
It was
something, right?
pouring rain. We were at some festival, and we were on the back area. It was like a big festival, so it was like It wasn't one of the tents, but we were walking to one of the big stages, and we ran into
Slayer played that day.
And we ran into the singer of Fit for an Autopsy, and you knew him through somehow or something, and you guys got to talking, and he's like, you guys should come check this out, check out the band. And I got on stage, and we were just like, oh, we stayed a couple songs, and like, you want to go back? I was like, no, I want to stay. And I just kept watching, and I fell in love. He gave me a CD,
I remember that
t-shirt, and I took that CD to my grandma's house for 2 weeks. I was there with my friend and her in Chicago, and I flew there, and I brought the CD with me, and it's the only thing I played at her entire house, in the car, everything. And that really opened my eyes to a lot of things. So I'd have to say Fit for an Autopsy.
You would have never found Slipknot.
But right now, I would have never found Slipknot, but I do love Slipknot to death.
Yeah. I want to say about that too is that like you were raised on punk rock, hip hop, blues, jazz, whatever we played.
Everything but country.
Yeah, what we played in this house, and I think it's really amazing that you found your own music and your own lane. And don't move that so I can hear it in there. And like that day you found Fit for an Autopsy. It just so happens I knew Pat from back in the day from a hardcore band called Terrazone. So I want to give a big shout out to Fit for an Autopsy for one, opening your mind to that type of music, and also like I fuck with it too. I know all the songs from hearing them so many times, and like I enjoy it, and I think they're a great band. And as well as Slipknot, I took you to see him at Jimmy Kimmel. It was incredible. So shout out to Jay Weinberg, who's actually in that group now. I'm happy for him. And yeah, Slipknot, amazing group, man. You turned me on to that, so it's not like it's cool. You're turning me on to shit that I would never really listen to. You know, I would never give Slipknot a time of day if it wasn't for you. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's nice.
No, I'm just saying, like,
I know it's not your type.
It's not really my thing, but like, it's really cool that you found that and love that. What are some of your goals and dreams since you're gonna be 18 tomorrow?
Goals and dreams. I don't know. It's very out of reach right now.
Yeah. And
it's very, very difficult to accomplish. And I'm sort of just pulling it out my ass because I really love it. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. And I've had so many things. I said I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to be a biologist. And that was down the gutter. I don't know. I say I want to do a lot of things, but honestly, I'd love to do some stuff with surfing. I don't care if I teach kids in the future or something, but it's one of my favorite things of all time to do, and I'm trying to get good as much as I can. Try to go every single day. It's just so difficult because school, and it's a hassle, but once I get my license, I'll be out there every single day doing it, practicing and training and everything like that. I want to do something with music.
Yeah.
I definitely want to do something with modeling.
You'll be doing modeling lately, which is great.
Maybe even acting. I don't know. Yeah. Probably not. But anyway, something like that.
Why not? I can see you doing that. So I know you're also a really amazing skater, and since your mom works at the barracks, you used to skate there a lot. You feel like skateboarding helped you as far as becoming a great surfer? I think one helps each other out. Is it totally
it's different? Like that, and when we used to snowboard all the time.
Yeah. What's like the biggest difference between people listening for skateboarding and snowboarding? Skateboarding and surfing. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I would say surfing, skateboarding, and snowboarding. Surfing, skateboarding, and snowboarding is sort of all the same. You use your feet. Snowboarding is a lot more like surfing, but skating also helps with balance, maneuverability, if that's a word.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's sort of just all the same types of technique and rhythm and flow.
Yeah.
Feng shui.
We were watching a bunch of docs, leading up to me really seeing you surf, really me trying to surf. There's like people always talk about the spiritual connection and being inside the water and all that.
I just like to surf.
But you don't feel like that now? You don't feel a connection in the water? Is this something peaceful? Is something?
Even if it's a bad day out, I just like to be out there in the water. I wouldn't say I have like emotional connection to it. Maybe if I almost drowned out there and I was saved by a dolphin, maybe I would have that again. But I just like to surf. Like, I think it's fun. I can get competitive with myself with it. I can tell myself to do new things, or I don't know. I do like being out there, even if it's a really shitty day out. I like to be out there to just swim and paddle and be in the water, especially when it's hot outside. You just go in the water. It's cold as balls, and I just like being out there. So maybe sort of in a way.
It's interesting because growing up for you, you're always scared of the ocean. I don't know to what age you were. You hated going in the ocean. Then all of a sudden,
I hated going anything. I was so scared.
And then one day you just fucking said fuck it, and you went in. And then now you're surfing, and I think it's incredible. What's scary to me is when we go so early in the morning and you get out there when it's dark.
That's so fun.
That would trip me out. Or you're surfing when this actually sun's going down.
Oh yeah, like when we used to do that at that secret spot.
Yeah. Have you had some close encounters with the dolphins out there coming close to you or anything?
Today when we went, there was like 5 big dolphins jumping in and out of the waves, like from the back of them through them. And it's not dangerous, but if you go on a wave and they jump out and they hit you, like it'd be dangerous. But they're beautiful mammals. Are always out there.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
But if you see a seal, that means it might be sharks.
Sea lion.
Sea lion. Sorry.
No.
What's the things you see?
So like if there's dolphins, lots of dolphins like to protect humans. I don't know why it is, but they just do, and it's just natural. And I don't think really sharks come around dolphins a lot. So when you see dolphins, you're good. But if you see sea lions a lot in the one spot, you're like, oh, that's food.
Yeah.
For sharks and stuff. And I know peeing and bleeding inside, like in the water, attracts sharks because in your pee there's plasma, and it attracts them.
Interesting.
And same with blood.
You ever have to shit your pants out there?
Yes. But you just hold it because you're going to get out and take it off and put it back on. That's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. You can pee in it, but...
What's the status of Ren since they're on the lockdown and stuff? You guys are playing lots of shows. You guys record a song with Tim Armstrong. You're making demos. Do you see yourself wanting to play music in the future, like touring and being in a band that tours as well?
Yeah.
Not saying it has to be Ren, but a band.
No, I'm just saying Ren's on like just a little
Yeah.
hiatus because we're all, we're still in high school and we're all like focused on graduating, getting into colleges. So we're all just taking like, obviously because of COVID too, it was some very strict out there.
Yeah.
But music, of course, I want to do music still.
Yeah.
My whole life. I don't know what I want to do with it, but definitely.
You love playing drums, love doing music, correct?
Yeah, I do.
And then also, somebody's question was, did we grow up in any religion? We didn't grow up in any religion in this house. We never went to that kind of stuff and didn't raise you that way. And then boxing, we have a boxing gym in the garage. Like, you started getting into boxing hard right before the lockdown came. You go in the Fortune
couple
gym.
months before, actually, so it's probably been over a year now.
Jason, what's his name? Jose Navarro was teaching you, shout you out, and Chris Uvain set that up at Fortune Gym on Melrose, and Max was really loving the boxing, getting inspired by Kingdom. And
I was like, now we can't do that. We must do something about it. So we put it on in the gym.
Yeah, so you still love boxing. You love that
I do
too.
that almost every day as much as I can.
And what you miss skating? Because you haven't skated that much. You missing that?
Yeah, I do miss skating. I just don't miss how the injuries you get every single time. You hurt your ankle. You're always sore afterward.
Yeah.
But I do, and I still got on that ground. I got on the other day, did a tray flip first try. I got my shit
What's
back.
one of your favorite tricks? That was one of the questions.
Tray flips, these ashtrays, nollie, inward heel. Sometimes I can do those. No, wait. Yeah, nollie inward. No, nollie backside heels. Those are easier.
Okay.
Frontside flips. Those are easy. I love those. Those are so fun. Yeah.
And just so you know, I'll put on recording that, like, obviously people know my mom kicked me out when I was 17. You're going to be 18 tomorrow, and you have the rest of your life to be on your own.
Are you kicking me out?
No, never.
I'm out.
No, to figure out your life and get your first job and start driving and all that stuff. There's no hurry to get into you have the rest of your life to be in the world, and you can take all the time you want to figure out your life and still be here because we love having you here. And I'm just going to keep it emo with you right now. I'm not going to look at you and I'll get emo. And so, Max, let's bring it to emo. We both have this connection with Coldplay. We've seen Coldplay many times.
Skip this question.
No, man. We've seen Coldplay many, many times. We have a bonding song, Charlie Brown. Every time I play Coldplay, Max is like, shut that shit off. It makes me emotional. And I'm sorry.
No, it makes you emotional.
But it makes you emotional as well.
And I don't know how to deal with emotional adults. I can't.
This is your one thing, your pet peeve, kind of?
I don't know how to deal with adults who cry at
So
Coldplay.
when you see me crying during movies, it makes you feel uncomfortable?
You, mama, my grandma, all grandmas, uncles, anyone over the age of 18, I don't know what to do.
Is that
with
because
them.
you're a cold-hearted bastard?
Yes.
But you love Coldplay.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
So
I just don't like listening to sad stuff like that, The Cure, all that.
But you like the bands.
Yeah, I like the bands. I like listening to them. I don't know how to listen to sad music. It's just weird.
So for the rest of your life, when you hear these songs, no matter if I'm on this planet or
Skip.
not,
No, I'm just kidding.
when you hear Coldplay, it's gonna be a memory.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I was gonna say, you have any pressure to be a musician? There's no pressure. No pressure to anything in this house.
He's forcing me, guys. Help.
No, just to do what you want to do and have fun what you're doing. About skating, it's the same thing. Favorite tricks. Actually, about surfing. Oh yeah, what's the question? Do you get allowance? Yeah, we're not gonna say the number. You get allowance. Yes. Do you have to do chores, Max? You have some chores you have to do.
Should I say yes?
Take out the trash. It's interesting when Max wants something, he'll be like, "What do you need me to do? I'll clean. What do you want me to do?" And then he has to do his chores to get something done. That's pretty
Every other day.
Max, you ever bedtime curfew?
No, I'm almost 18. What are you talking about? I used to have when I'm 5, I want to have a bedtime at 12 o'clock. And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Is that all of them?
I'll get some more on my mind, too.
Okay.
So we'll do a quick flashback on your life. 18 years. 18 years on this planet, California kid. Where else could you see yourself living, you think? What other places do you love?
Nowhere. I
love
want.
New York
I
for a
will
while.
always live with somewhere where there is a coast or a beach or anything that I can surf. And I know you're like, oh, you only been surfing over a year and a half,
Tasty
but I
waves.
know forever that I will always live on with surfing. I do not care how old I am. I see people out there who are like 70 still ripping.
You have any surf goals?
I definitely live definitely in New York once in my life. One time I don't care if I live in a shack, as I know it's expensive. I want to live in California the rest of my life. If I ever have money, I want to have a house in or like a little apartment in New York,
yeah.
Bali, somewhere. I want to live somewhere else that has really good ocean. I know New York has really good ocean, but I definitely want to live in Cali the rest of my life. I don't know if it's going to be in LA, but nowhere inland. And nowhere too far down south. Maybe San Diego.
San Diego?
Maybe, but no too far up north either.
Max, what are some of your favorite movies? I know that we can say Borat, Elf. What are some of your favorite movies, like top?
I was thinking about this the other day.
Goodfellas.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High is
Yeah.
fire. Goodfellas is great. Pirates of the Caribbean will always be a classic that I grew up watching with
You and
my
Kevin.
friend.
Yeah.
Yep. What else?
How about Elf? Elf's a
I mean,
banger.
Elf's a great one, but
Step Brothers.
why you asked me the question?
Go ahead.
Step Brothers is a good one. What's the one? Bad Santa's hilarious.
Great.
Hilarious.
Great.
Dirt. Motley Crue.
Yeah, you love
I
that?
watched that movie over 25 times.
Yeah,
I
you did.
swear, it was such a good movie.
You became a Crew fan from that, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What about
Cornball.
what about favorite food? I know you love pizza.
Pizza's great, but that's so basic. I mean, if I have to be specific, I'll never, ever, ever get old with eating the California club sandwich at M Cafe.
Banging.
So fire.
Yeah.
I'll never end that one.
What about how you eat pasta with no sauce on it? That's pretty interesting.
dry pasta?
Yeah, where'd that come
It's
from?
just good. I don't like sauce.
Yeah, this
Gives
guy
me
eats-
acid reflex.
This guy eats pasta with no sauce on it. What about music besides like Death Metal Heart? I know you love hip hop. I mean, I
I've
know
been
you love
listening
all
to a
kinds
lot of
shit.
classical jazz recently.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah. Now since Derek Sepultura has turned me on to some experimental math kind of music, like different kinds of metal, or also listening to a lot of like old school hip hop
Yeah.
from you recently.
Nas, Mobb Deep,
Yeah.
Biggie,
Yeah.
Tribe. What about some like newer hip hop? I know you like the mumble stuff,
I don't listen to a lot of new hip hop anymore unless it's like
but you
all
still
right,
like
that's true. Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi,
Triple Extension.
Lil. Yeah.
You love Little Pump. You fucked with Little Pump hard.
I loved him in 10th grade.
What about some other people, other hip hop you listen to?
Nerd.
Yeah, you love Nerd.
Pharrell.
Yeah, he's great, super talented.
So far.
But the thing about it is, people always ask, like, does Max like punk? Like, they really don't fuck with punk rock or hardcore.
It's like
weird.
one of the only ones that in country I don't really listen to. I
How
mean,
you play Madball?
unless it's
sometimes on your
Madball, Hazen Street,
own.
Cro-Mags.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's
I don't
all
really,
you fuck with, really. It's interesting. Like, you've heard the Ramones a million times. You heard all this stuff. You like Clash. You fuck with
Oh, okay. Well, then you get into like that kind of rock-ish, but sort of like.
Punkish.
So you get like Buzzcocks. Then you could do. I listen to some Sex Pistols, not much though. Clash, Susie and the Banshees is not punk rock, but it's like sort of early rock. And then you got like, Joan Jett, stuff like that.
Kraftwerk. You fuck with.
Yeah, Kraftwerk is fine.
Yeah, some other shit.
Echo and the Bunnymen I listen to sometimes.
Okay. And then when like really that you've been getting me into more that I never fucked with is like Zeppelin and the Kinks and all this shit you've been listening
The
to.
Kings,
like with
Zeppelin,
your friend.
the Smiths.
Yeah, but you
Big
fuck.
Mouth strikes again.
You fuck with Zeppelin hard though.
Yeah, I love Zeppelin.
It seems a lot
AC/DC.
AC/DC you fuck with. Like a lot of the shit I wasn't listening to as a kid was like true rock. But Guns N' Roses not really Guns N' Roses.
Sometimes, yeah.
How about some Sabbath? Fuck with Sabbath.
Yeah, of course.
And
It's
that
more
would,
metally now then.
and that would say some of your main influences, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about Eminem is like one of your top, correct?
Eminem's the best.
You think he's one of the best?
Yeah.
If you had to do a top
He's the
five,
best to ever do it, dude. Did you
Would-
remember that song?
would you have-
Greatest?
if you had to do a top 5 hip hop, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know. Eminem's definitely up there. Jay-Z. I don't listen to a lot, but I know he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Kanye, I have to say, he's got so many bangers.
Mm-hmm. That's part of your generation for sure.
Yeah.
What about like some more hip hop? What about like what are some tattoo ideas you have? Let's not give away the big ones, but is there stuff you would get like a surfboard? You think that's kind of weird?
Surfing
right?
in a couple years if it's still like a huge impact on my life, but like I also think all the surfing types of community like tattoos are sort of kooky or just like I don't know, they're just sort of corny. Yeah, like the little wave on my ankle, like wow.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't really enjoy that. I think it's sort of just like, oh, I'm a part of the ocean, like look at me with my wave. Like I don't really like that.
Do you want to have sleeves?
No,
not at all.
Probably not.
It's
Remember, I have good skin. I have beautiful body. I don't want to get rid of it. I'm just kidding.
I just feel like once you get one, you're gonna get that buzz, that bug. You know what I mean?
I really hope not.
You do?
There's a surprise for all of you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, your birthday tat. Oh my God, who's doing tattoo tomorrow?
Dan Smith.
It's going down tomorrow, man. Your first tattoo. It's kind of scary. It's kind of interesting.
I'm scared it's gonna hurt.
I think you could I think you can make it through, man. It's like a bad sunburn, depending what kind you get and where you get it.
I've had a lot of those.
Are you super nervous about it?
Yeah, I'm scared it's gonna hurt. Because I'm not gonna tell you where I'm getting it either, but it's gonna hurt where I'm getting it.
I know we talked today about doing like a matching tattoo, but you and your mom. It'd be interesting what we should get or something.
I would say I get the year of my birthday on me, and you get the day, and my mom she gets the month. I don't know why.
That's kind of cool. 1/26/03.
Wow, took you that long to remember my birthday?
No, I have it tattooed on me, so I fucking remember.
Where would you get it? You literally have no space.
I know. I have to try to figure out
the tip of your finger.
I would do that somewhere though.
We should do it all under our eyes.
No, it's interesting how your generation all like get all the face tats first, and that's like a total normal thing now, right, Max? You think?
Not totally normal, but yeah.
When's the last time you shaved that mustache?
Wow, I don't even have one. It's sort of like peach fuzz.
I always told Max I'm gonna blow up your spot. Like Max is like when he was a couple years ago, he's like I have no hair on my armpit. I'm like, listen, I didn't get hair on my armpit until I was 17. I was embarrassed changing in my clothes. And
I have armpit hair now.
I know.
All seven of them are very happy down there.
And Max, you didn't have eyebrows for mad years too.
I know.
When did the eyebrows finally come in, Moon? You remember, babe? 8th grade, you finally got eyebrows.
Hey, that's Cap.
And then and your mother sometimes would draw divine ones on your face. Oh, let's get real.
She'd send me to school in preschool with drawn-on eyebrows, and I'd look like horrific.
Yo, I remember this was like the lowest point of my life. We had we had a fucking off-white PT Cruiser with dents in it, and I went on tour and I came back, and my wife, probably losing her mind, raising her kid while I was on tour and working, let Max draw SpongeBob characters all over the car.
Little did he know it was permanent on accident.
Permanent all over the car. And when you pulled up to the school, everybody thought it was so, oh my God, it's so cool that your son, he's so creative. Let him be himself and draw in the car, and like a whole bunch of other
My dad would cover his face when he had to drive me to school. He'd be like, that's not my kid.
And a whole bunch of people would like, why'd you do that to Moon? Like, now our kids are going to want to do that as well. It was so sad, Max. We used to drop you at school and you used to always cry. It was this weird thing. You were so young. And I think,
everyone didn't want to go to school.
But also what it stemmed was...
I still cry when I have to go to school.
But what it stemmed from was, you know, we forgot to tell Max that like daylight savings and all that shit. And so when the sun started going down like 4 o'clock in the winter, you know... we would
you'd be on tour and my mom was like, I'm going to pick you up right after school.
It'd be the right time, but it'd be pitch black.
Nah, bro, she forgot about me.
No. And she thought it was, and you thought it was like way later than it was. And then from that, I think we totally scarred you for life, Max, you think? Because after that, you were totally...
I had abandonment issues because of you guys.
No. You're drinking some liquid death now, and a couple weeks ago, there was a couple in the refrigerator in the garage, and they kind of exploded. And I showed them to you. I was like, Max, check out these cans.
They were frozen. Oh, you're going to say this story now. They were frozen with ice, and they were sort of exploded inside of them. Had like, you know, it's like fine tin, and it was like little slits on the side, like maybe like 3 inches, 4 inches long. And I wasn't even expecting it, but I was like, wow, it's filled with ice, and I'm going to throw it on the floor, and it's going to explode, and it's going to spray everywhere. Wow, that's so cool. I'm 17. I'm crazy. So I did it with the first 2 of them, and it actually exploded. I was like, that's awesome.
Oh, it did? The first ones did?
Yeah. And then the third one had a really big slice down the middle. I was like, wow, I'm going to do this one. I'm not going to cut myself. And I threw it in our alley, and right as I threw it, it just sliced my finger pretty clean, maybe like a good inch, but it was like curved a little bit. And I was like, ow, that hurt. It felt like a paper cut. And then I turned my finger over and I looked and I bent it a little bit and I started screaming and crying. I was
bloody
like,
murder.
Ah! what the? I saw inside everything. I saw the fat, the tissue. Like, that was nasty. Even my dad was like, I can't look at it.
Yeah,
He's
blood
gonna
was
throw up.
squirting everywhere. It was
It was
fucking gnarly.
nasty. And even when we went to the urgent care, and I was like, I'm gonna get COVID, I swear. And we get there, and
We had 3 masks on.
the
each
dude
of us.
Michael, our dude,
He was a
like-
nurse. Thank you.
yeah,
Michael.
and he was like, wow, that's pretty bad. I was like, oh, thanks. It makes me feel really good. And then he was like, and I was like, oh, is it going to hurt? And I remember when we were there for 3 hours, and apparently my mom and I don't accept into our body lidocaine, so numbing doesn't really work. Like
That's interesting.
Novocaine does in my mouth, but lidocaine doesn't. And so it took them an hour to try to numb my finger, but it didn't really work. So I felt the last 3 stitches going in and out, and like with the string, it was the worst feeling. It was the worst feeling I've ever had, and it sucked. It was 2 days, 3 days right into my winter break.
Yeah.
And there was a huge winter swell for 2.5
Bro.
weeks, that entire break, and it just ruined. I wasn't able to work out, play drums, box, surf, anything like that. And I couldn't even shower for the first 3 days. It was horrible.
That was pretty scary, man. And just going to the ER, we're like, oh my God, no COVID. And we went there masked up, and we went in a totally different section that wasn't COVID patients. We went to like
That doesn't matter.
people bleeding and all that
It's
shit.
weird.
Max, have you ever been embarrassed by your parents? Like me being heavily tattooed, your mom having different color hair, rolling to school in the big gulps, dressed kind of wild. Like, honestly, we ever like, yo, my parents.
There's only one
no?
thing Mama has ever done that has ever embarrassed me, and it's not. She even meant to do it on purpose. She tried to. I was with my friend Daniel, and we were at the Grove. And in the middle of the Grove, if any of the listeners have ever been there, it's in LA. Like, there's a middle section, and there's like a driveway that goes through it, and that's where you get dropped off at Ubers and stuff. It's right in the dead center. And she dropped us off around the corner, and we walked through, and she met us in the middle, and she had a face mask on, and she was in her PJs, and it was a busy
You mean like
Saturday.
like a face mask?
Yeah, like a face mask. Like, this was like over a year ago, and she had like one of those like
a skin mask.
yeah,
like,
skincare mask or whatever, and she looked like crazy. And she had her PJs on, and it was like midday Saturday. Everyone's out, you got all the homies around, and me and Daniel walking through, and there's a stoplight. They're like, oh, here comes the cars. She rolls down the window, blasting me. She's like, that's my son, oh my God, ah, screaming. Everyone's looking at me. I started pointing at my friend. I was like, that's her son. What a crazy lady. We'll get her there. I was so embarrassed.
So that's the only time you're
The
embarrassed.
only time I've ever been embarrassed. But she was trying to do it too. She's like, I have to embarrass you once at least.
But besides that, like just the way we look, the way we roll, like what I
No.
do for a living, all that shit.
I always tell you to wear shorts so everyone can see your tats.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no. So it's not a big deal for you, right, Max? Just like having us
No.
be the weird parents.
No.
You were never embarrassed, like, stay outside, or
Nope.
I love that. Do you feel pressure? Do you feel any pressure from us? Besides I feel the only pressure we give you is to always be yourself, always be caring, always be thoughtful, always be respectful. But anything else, do you feel any pressure that I'm a musician and you feel like you have to be a musician or something like that, or no? It's not like that.
No.
And you feel no pressure from us, like you can't eat meat, you can't eat cheese, you have to be straight.
Hey, if I wanted to eat meat, I'd eat it right now, but I really don't want to.
No, I know. And you went to the pig vigils with me. You've been to a lot of shit. You've seen where it comes from, all that stuff. So it's not really like, we've always been lead by example type family, not like let's just raise him to be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel like that's probably why it worked?
Yeah, it was never enforced as like, hey, like recently, it's not like we want you. Obviously, it's not like if you want to eat a steak, you can do it. You don't say it, but obviously you're not going to stop me. And it's like, you're not like, go out and smoke weed. It's like, hey, if you ever did it, that's you. I wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't be disappointed. I'd probably be disappointed and
I'd be
sad,
all
but I
that.
wouldn't be mad at you. But like, you do you. You're not going to force me. But like, I don't really want to, so I don't really care. So
And do you think you credit that to
I need the last brain cells I have.
I mean, we do have these discussions a lot, Max, that we have a really open communication in this house, Max, me, you, and Mama, from day one. Like, Max, like just like if anybody's fucking with you, if anything's on your mind, everything you want to explain, you've always felt never afraid to tell us anything.
I
And
know.
I feel like that's that's super important. The open communication, because I feel like we're gonna have that for the rest of your life.
I
Just
know.
talk about it. Because there are some friends, we don't have to say their names, but there's people you know that probably hate their parents.
Yeah.
Don't tell their parents shit, lie, and their parents don't trust them. So that's why, like, fuck it, they don't trust me. I'm just gonna lie to them anyway. But we know when you go out, we know Max is safe. We know where Max is going, and I think that's
Yeah.
really important. I think that's something that is special that we have.
Yeah.
Would you say that you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, there's no need for me. If I'm going, when COVID wasn't here, I was like, I'm going to party. Like, I'm out and like,
Not
okay,
even worried at all. I have
have
no
fun,
worries.
be
Yeah.
safe.
Do you think it's your Nana's fault that you drink coffee?
Probably, she used to make some really good coffee.
And you used to smell it when you were a baby. You know, it's like, oh
I
my
had
god, I
3
love this.
coffees yesterday and 2 big ones today. Like, I have a problem.
I mean, you kind of inspired me to try it, but like, I feel like she's the first one to let you get a sip of it when you were younger,
Yeah, we never told you.
and you love it, right? You never told me.
No, you do it when I was like 0. I'm just kidding. When I was young, though, I would have sips of it. It was really good.
And she was like, "Don't tell your parents I give you coffee."
Oh, she didn't-
And
she
you were
didn't like
jumping
that.
around, shitting yourself.
Just had 1 sip. I just always love the taste of it.
And I want to apologize to you too, because I know you have like a thing that I had in school where it's hard to focus on a lot of things. It's hard to get distractions. Your mind's always spinning. I feel like that's something was one of my part of my genes, to where like it's hard for you to like focus on shit. It's not OCD or ADD. It's just like it's hard for you to focus. I feel like
It's
when
called ADHD.
well,
Because
yeah,
I'm hyperactive.
but you haven't been diagnosed. So listen to me, because that people get offended when you say that you don't have it. It's a thing. So listen, my point to you is that when you focus on shit that you love and really want to do, you crush it. And that was the same thing I was in
True.
school. The stuff I was like, oh fuck this, I don't want to do
Most things
this.
I do are hyperactive. Think about it. Boxing, surfing, and that all takes energy out of you. Playing the drums, like Muay Thai, kickboxing, everything like that, it all takes anything out of you. I don't think one thing that's chill, like drawing or sitting and reading a book. Like,
And you were never a video game kid sitting still playing video because you
No.
never had any of that shit.
I had an Xbox and I couldn't even play because I couldn't sit still for that long and do it.
And you got that way later on. Like I have to get one because did you feel like you had to get one because all your friends?
No,
had it
I
at the
just
time?
I remember I always kept going to my friend's house. I kept playing. I was like, this is awesome. We actually we sold that right before COVID, and that would have been perfect to have
Yeah,
during this whole lockdown because that would have been so fun. But I would have been a couch potato.
totally. And I know you don't feel pressure from your parents alone. Do you ever felt pressure in school to like, hey, try this joint, hey, drink this beer? Hey, you never
No.
felt that ever?
It only took a couple weeks, and all my friends were like, "Oh, it's Max. He's good. He doesn't want your puff or jewel
Yeah.
or joint or
So,
bump."
so not to keep comparing us to each other, but I have to. That's how I was in school, where people are like, oh, he's a skater, he's hyperactive, he breakdance, he doesn't do that shit, he's the homie. That's just who he is. He doesn't need that shit. And you feel like you got the same respect once they knew
Yeah,
that that's who you were. You know what I mean, right?
yeah.
And have you ever had situations where you worried about your friends and their partying, or like it could really affect their lives?
Well, most of my friends are smart, so not really. I mean, sometimes
You never worry about
sometimes
that?
maybe with alcohol, nothing really else. I mean, like there's other drugs, but like I'd say alcohol was the most worrisome, even for like my girlfriends like that were out and getting home, or even some
Yeah.
of my dude friends that were so intoxicated they probably wouldn't remember it. Like that worries me, but like not really.
Is pills and jewels a big thing in school at this point?
Pills and jewels, those are two opposites. What are you talking about?
No, are they
You
both?
mean puffs, or what are you
I
talking
don't
about?
fucking know the lingo. Is that like the big thing in school at this moment before like the lockdown?
Everything, every time, ever since they came out, they were, and I don't know why the ads were like, it tastes like strawberry. It's like that's directed towards adults. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Like all these flavors,
Yeah.
like that's not directed towards adults. They targeted kids, and kids bought them because they were colorful and cool looking, and everyone's like, oh my god, that's only $10, and then I know people spent thousands of dollars on those things
And the kids are doing that shit
over
in school.
time, huh?
The kids are doing that in school classrooms.
Teachers just are so oblivious to everything, and some of them are just not and just don't care. Honestly,
and
I know teachers that have like seen it and don't care.
And you would tell me the kids were doing hand poke tattoos in the classroom,
Yeah,
in the back of the classroom,
yeah,
and that's like totally normal. Nobody
that's
knows
cool.
what's
I
going on.
want one.
No, you don't. You can get tattooed by anybody in the world. You can get tattooed tomorrow from Dan Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah. So let's get to now the pandemic, which you're living through. Pandemic, first time we all are, and now you're being now you're doing homeschool on a computer, but you're a senior now and you're going to graduate.
So easy.
But it's so easy. But I feel bad because you didn't get to go to school and do your senior pranks. And you said you wanted to go and just be that senior and be like, oh, this is my last year. That's something.
Yeah.
Is that something an amazing experience you're not going to have now?
Yeah, it does suck. It really does. But I mean,
you went to school with your mask and you went to a trailer and you took your senior photo. That was kind of odd too, you know?
It was really weird. I mean, like, now I'm living through it. Now I can literally use my phone at the beach while I'm surfing for first period, and then be on time in class, in PE class, which is what I have for first period.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not missing anything. I'm actually being physically active.
Yeah.
And then I get back and
Does surfing count for
nothing.
PE points?
No, but if I tell my teacher, hey, I'm sorry I wasn't here, I was surfing, like, oh, that's awesome. Like,
yeah,
dude, no one cares anymore. It's sort of sad because it's like,
you think that affected your grades?
Grades?
You think that affected your grades this pandemic? I'm not trying to talk about what your grades were. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
you think it's more distracting doing it from home?
Yeah, that's why you always wanted me to get into homeschooling, and I probably was never able to do that ever.
So now we realize that wouldn't have been the right thing for you.
Definitely not. I knew it all along.
But kids are on their phones in school. They're also distracted there, but there's no teacher.
Yeah, but the teachers really see, and you're forced to go there and actually learn every day. You got a specific amount of hours. Literally start school at 9 and I end at 12:30. Like, come on, man, what is that? I used to start at 8 o'clock and end at like 3:30. Like, that was. And you actually were like forced to go there, and like I know it sounds stupid, you're forced to go to school. It's like, I mean, honestly, like it felt good to be forced to go somewhere and actually do stuff throughout the day. These days going by so fast, especially with the sun going down early, it's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I used to have a hard time focusing as well, but I definitely see the difference from you being home, and now you're not going to get that senior experience. What about graduation? What do you think they would do for that?
A lot of them are actually talking about actually doing a graduation because of vaccine or whatever. But
so you actually go there and do that?
Maybe with masks. I don't know. I don't really want to do it with masks. I want to be able to see everyone, hug everyone, and But hey,
did you hate school?
No. Now it makes me realize I really did like it. I've seen my friends. I like going to the bathroom and just chilling in the bathroom for 5 minutes, and then coming back and seeing my teachers and talking to teachers and going to hang out with my friends during lunch and nutrition and. It was I really took that for granted, and that's what I miss now, most of it.
You said like a really amazing adult thing to me and Mama, which was like Max was in Larchmont Charter, which was an incredible school. I got him in there. It was a lottery. We raised money for that school. It was very sheltered, though. It was like you get driven to the school every day. It's like this little bubble. It was a great beginning for Max. But I remember Max told my wife after 8th grade, he's like, you know what? I want to go to school with his bullies and lockers. And Max tried out, and he got.
I got neither of those really. I didn't get. Yeah. I never got a locker at my whole high school year. I never got one.
We should get you one.
I never really got bullied. So I mean.
And you end up going to Hamilton High.
Yeah.
Home of the Interrupters brothers from there.
Yeah.
Nipsey Hussle and a bunch of amazing artists came from there.
Yeah.
And you tried out. You got into the music program, and they had Adidas Sound Lab. Your band was signed to the school
label.
Your manager was from the school.
Yeah.
Shout him out. And It's a great fucking school, man.
Yeah,
it was a great
really
school,
fun.
and it's a really, really big. Quiet Moon, please. It was a really, really big campus too for you to do that. And I thought that was really adult, mature of you to say, "Hey, I want to go to like a real school that have these things." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was scared for sure, but then you start like taking a scooter there and skating there and getting there on your own, and I don't know. I just feel like you're blossoming in there. And what do you think the hardest grades was? It 9th and 10th was rough at first or no?
10th was the hardest year for me because that's when I met my group of friends and like. I was talking
more distracted.
Like, that's the reason I messed up and everything. Like, no, you messed up because you were always with us, though. That's your problem. But I was like, that was the hardest year for me because 9th grade, easy. I was kept to myself. I had one friend, and I really kept myself, and I really didn't do much. 10th grade is when I met Ren.
You blossomed.
10th grade.
Tell him that story since that podcast never came out.
10th grade, I met Ren. The band. Hold on. I met Ren. I met all of my friends. I met Ren the band through English class. Nick Munoz, the singer of Ren, I was in class and I was like just doing my own thing, playing drums, really fast air drumming. Middle of English class, was not having it with school, listening to like some heavy death metal, and I was just going crazy, going wild. And he comes up to me after class, and he runs up to me. And after class, he's like, "Hey man, like I see you playing air drums. Like, I'm the singer of a band, and I was looking for a drummer. If you want to come try out." this Saturday over here, you know, gave me the address or whatever. I was like, cool, like, who the hell is this guy? And I went there. They were so professional, knew everything they were doing. And then Anthony Rosales, the guitar player of Ren, he came up, you know, a little bit older looking fellow. I was like, whoa, who's this guy? Why does he look 20, you know? And I was like, wow, like, this is professional. I get in there, like, you know, Led Zeppelin, you know, Slayer, you know, all this. I was like, oh, whoa. You know, Tool songs, you know, all this. Metallica. I was like, oh my God, these guys are professional. So I have to get on my shit. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then they're like, you know any bass players? I was like, yeah. So this kid that I used to play soccer with for my whole life since I was, like 7 or something, I was like, I know, he goes to Hamilton, he plays bass, he loves metal, loves hard rock. And I was like, bring this kid. And we all clicked. We became best friends and then introduced us to all their friends. And then now we're all best friends. We FaceTime every single day. We got a group chat, hang out as much as we can. Not during now, but we used to for every single day. Every single day would we hang out after school, during school, weekends, breaks, everything. And that really led me to 10th grade being a really shitty year for my grades. 11th grade did good because my mom was like, if you get good grades this year, I'm going to buy you a car. And I was like, wow, I got great grades, best grades ever. And then quarantine it and you'd be like, wow, this is going to be so easy. But for me, it was so hard to focus and I didn't do as great. But last semester, I'm going to end it strong with all A's.
That'd be so tight. I love that.
That's my cat
What kind of car did you get?
I got a 2005, I believe, X5 BMW.
Fire. First car. It's a good first car.
Yeah, it's older and you know I could bump it around a lot, hit other cars. It's okay.
So were you the spazzy kid in class, like playing drums on your seat all the time, or?
Yeah. Even since I was in 3rd grade, teacher Candace would be like, "Hey Max, stop that! Stop tapping everything." And I was like,
total
sorry.
drummer, and that's how they saw you in the classroom. Did they check you like, yo, what kind of music do you like? You heard of this band? You heard of this? But they started checking you.
Only when we were playing. You know this. I was like,
but
oh,
I
no.
feel like they opened your mind to so much other shit you weren't listening to before. Because you would come home and say, Dad, you heard of this band? I'm like, yeah, Tool, this band, that band. I'm like, Sugar or Slip, all these bands like that I knew, but you weren't really fucking with.
Yeah.
So I think there was such a great thing for you. And vice versa, you taught them about hardcore. We took Anthony go see Cro-Mags. They checked out hard. Remember, Max? Like you were both like schooling each other on like just different genres
that was
of music,
fun.
right? So I mean, I hope for the future that Ren's really gonna do something in the future because I love the band. I think they're super original. People love them. I like the quicksand vibe to them. People that heard like the breakdowns. This is songwriting is very mature.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you learn a lot from being
I learned so much.
in that band?
So much.
And then Todd Morse produced one of your songs, so you learned how to record in the studio. Then Tim Armstrong did as well. Got to learn like just recording stuff like that. You know what I mean? So no graduation. This is it. Pandemic. How has that affected your relationships as far as like your friends?
Not anyone specific. I mean, there is people in specific. I'm not gonna name them, but like I really saw who my true friends were. Like who I really don't need in my life, who I really don't care to have in my life, who I really, really don't care to have in my life. Like I really just, I mean, lost a lot of friends, but I really don't care.
So you kind of trim the fat off your life as far as friends are concerned.
Yeah.
And what is something that it taught you?
Made new relationships.
That's the main thing it taught you, I guess. Who your friends were.
Yeah. I don't learn anything else. Just hate being in the house.
And you take that as that's a positive that you got from this whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we never did the garage project together.
There's a lot of good things that came out of this, in my opinion.
Surfing.
I would not have been surfing this much. Never would have gotten this good.
I would not have stood on the board in my life. I would never even tried surfing.
I wouldn't have gotten straight into, kept boxing. Had a gym back there.
The garage is the biggest game changer of the lockdown for us.
Yeah.
But surfing too. Your surfing skills are incredible. I'm super impressed. I even stood up a couple of times. I enjoy going to the ocean.
It's fun.
I lived here for 19 years, and I never really fucked with the ocean. And now, because of you, inspired me to come watch you. Then I'm like, I'll get in the water, and then I became trying.
It was during summer there.
Well, everything. I'm still going to the ocean, but like you inspired me for that. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Well, Max, I think we covered a lot of the questions. I'm really proud of you. I'm honored to call you my son. I'm really happy with how you turned out, and tomorrow you turn 18, and you're becoming, quote unquote, man, as they say. And I have no worries and no fears in my mind how your life's going to turn out. I'm excited to try to stay as healthy as possible, be on this planet long as possible, to watch you blossom and grow into a man, start your own family, have a career. I'm excited to do that, and I'm just proud of you.
Thank you. I love you, Pops.
I love you too. And so this is an early happy birthday. and tomorrow's the big day, and I can't wait till the world sees your tattoo. I can't wait till I see. I'm not really sure
I
what you're
can't wait
getting.
till I see
You've
it.
been really mysterious about it, like you're saying hints here and there. I don't know if you're working secretly with Dan Smith, but it's gonna hurt. You have any questions
know.
about getting tattooed at all? Like fear or anything like
No,
that?
I've always asked those questions when I was like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You always talked about getting a dead bird too, but that's
On my
super random.
face.
Yeah.
Maybe
So,
that's what
yeah.
I'm getting. You'll never know.
No, so it's gonna hurt. It's gonna feel like a sunburn, and yeah, man. I think that
How long will I be out of the game for surfing? Tell me, coach.
fuck, man, at least a week out of surfing, and it sucks because I've turned into a coloring book, so it's really I can't say don't get this many tats. I can't say shit. But what I can say is it's gonna hurt and it's forever. You know what I mean? It's gonna be painful. So make sure whatever you want. I've had some cover-ups on my body because there was some silly ones, but all in all, tattoos to me was a journey. It's just markings of my journey through this life. You know what I mean? It's how I express myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm excited for you. And yeah, man. Thanks for being on the podcast, Max.
Thanks, man.
And
Just kidding. I love you.
I love you too. And happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you. Thanks,
Thank
Max.
you, guys.
Thanks for
Thank
listening,
you.
everybody. Thanks for all the questions and the support. Love you. Bye. Yo, you know we had to hop back on because I was like, fuck, we forgot to talk about two more things. Max, if you had to choose Sopranos over Breaking Bad, what would it be?
Oh, my God. That's the hardest question.
Is it even possible?
Breaking Bad.
Yeah?
Breaking Bad is the best.
But Sopranos is fucking
Sopranos
close.
is so good. I think they have to be on the same level. Like, everyone's like, no, you have to choose one. I really just couldn't, man. They're on the same level.
They're both epic, right?
Yeah, best show.
And something I thought about, too, is that what do you think... Do you think that you would have been a different person if we were stricter parents or more normal parents, like everyday run-of-the-mill parents that didn't do music, didn't do the stuff we did? You would have been. Do you wish you were more stricter? Do you wish you were more harder on you with your grades and go to
I'm
college?
perfect. I'm just kidding.
And go to college and all this pressure. You know what I mean?
No, that would really suck, especially with. Maybe it'd be different just because the way I was raised, and that's not who I am. But like, I'm glad it's like this.
There's enough pressure as being like a young adult in the world, let alone have pressure from your parents. Like,
yeah,
to be the perfect. It's impossible to be a perfect human.
Yeah.
And you're a Cali kid, which is crazy. Mama's from Midwest. I'm from the East Coast. Like we raised a pure California kid.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. And so tomorrow's your birthday. You have any crazy surprise birthdays that you can just reminisce upon, like when you were younger?
When I was in 8th grade, right after school, Matt Skiva sent a limo to my school right outside of where everyone goes outside of school.
That's facts.
Hundreds of kids. I was in 8th grade. I don't know what age just turned. Probably just turned 14.
Yeah.
This big fat ass limo, and he was in it, and
I was in there too, fool. It was crazy.
Yeah. Were you? Yeah, you were, right?
Yeah, we went to the barracks.
And he gets out of the car, and he's like, "Come in and bring some girls and friends." Randomly. And I was like, wait, what? I didn't have many friends in 8th grade, like not tons. But of course, I was like, oh my God, Max is a limo. Let's be, But a bunch, I brought the few friends I had, and we brought my skater friends, and we were like, let's get in this limo. And literally brought some like couple friends that would just totally was leaving school to go home or something. And they're just like, I was like, you want to come? And they're like, yeah, sure. So we just went. We picked them in the limo, and everyone the next day was like, whoa, it's Max with the limo boy. And we get in, and there's like maybe 10 kids with us, and we're chilling in there. And it's my birthday, and we go straight to the barracks, and my school was in downtown LA then already.
The barracks is a skate park in downtown Los Angeles.
20 minutes from there. And
for those listening,
we go there, and
hanging out, skating,
we're chilling, and we're already skating. We come outside just for fresh air or something, and everyone's inside having a good time, and it's just me and a couple of my friends, and all of a sudden, I don't even remember if it was a Mercedes
or a Jaguar, I think.
Something crazy. Some beautiful car pulls up, this black car. One person gets out. It's John Travolta.
This is crazy.
And
man.
It's just him. And I'm standing there, and I've seen Grease before, but I didn't recognize him right away. But of course, I knew who he was. And he walks up, and he just recognizes me or something. And he walks up, says really nothing, and then everyone
says
just
he the birthday boy.
Well, no, but then everyone dead stares, and one girl starts pointing. She's like, "Wait, is that John Travolta?" And he comes up, he's like, "Are you Max?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, happy birthday boy. I was like,
Oh, it was an amazing surprise, man.
What?
Thank you, James Marino.
And he
for
just
that.
walks in like normal, opens the door and
But
just
it's
walks
so
like a
brightly
human.
lit in there. He walks in there and it's like so bright.
And everyone just stops, like he's skating. He's like,
dead in their tracks.
And then we have a photo of my Nana with him. It was so funny. He was super nice. He just came and I was like, wow, that's the craziest
It was
thing
so
ever.
nice. Took pictures with every. Thank you, JT. You're the best. Took pictures of everybody hung out in there. I have a great photo of like you and him, or me and him, and Nana's in the back, like smiling, like photobombing it. That was a great memory.
That was great.
Any surprises for your birthday besides that? Like that was a big surprise.
Ooh.
You and Skiba had some amazing memories.
He's always came up and surprised. Like I can't make it, and then he surprises us later, and always comes Christmas.
You remember me and Mama coming home and Skiba was watching you. You guys were painting stuff, and we came.
Well, that was
in the
on my
house.
birthday.
But you were covered in paint all over the house.
Yeah, he felt so bad. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna be
Paint
fired."
all
as
in
a
the
friend.
sink. Paint all in the sink. Paint
On the
all in that
walls,
stuff.
everything, and he's just standing there like, I couldn't control him. I don't know what to do.
Did he teach you a kickflip?
Yeah, he really helped me with that. But I remember I landed the first time ever at the barracks.
Yes.
Best day of my life.
Best of your life landing
I remember
tricks,
the
right?
board I wrote it on. I had a cat board, a black and white cat board. I remember that. It was awesome.
That was one of your favorite decks, or no?
No, I have some. It's not even about the deck. I remember it was a crazy day.
Yeah, but you had some really great moments with Uncle Skeeves, like doing wild, cool shit with you, painting and being creative and always making cool shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're rolling your eyes. You're tired.
So tired.
I know we woke up really early today.
But yeah,
it's been a great journey, Max. Like having you on
Good
tour, all that
podcast.
stuff. It's everything with you. You know
number
what I mean?
one podcaster in this whole house.
Thank you.
Shout out and thank you to H2O, the fam. H2O Fam Bam, who I grew up with my entire life, for taking me on the road and putting up with me when I was going through puberty and loud and annoying. And last year, just thank you for taking me out on the road, on the town, showing me what it's like to live.
I liked you had like 5 dads, almost 6 dads, all of us together with you. They're always influence. You know what I
it was
mean?
fun.
Like just having. Yeah, I want to thank H2O too, because you're my kid. You're not their kid, but they welcomed you to the fam, open arms. You've been a big part of H2O's life and career ever since you were born. And do you like H2O?
Yeah, you guys are okay.
Just
kidding.
Do you have any favorite songs?
Ever Ready Now.
Wow. What's one of your favorite H2O songs to play?
Ever Ready.
And you have like,
1995.
and when you were born, it was interesting because H2O was on
Phone song.
was a hiatus. It was all about Hazen Street. So you went to Japan with the Hazen Street. Hazen Street was like one of the first bands you saw.
Yeah.
Because we were on a hiatus, and you have a crazy love and connection to Hazen Street, right?
Freddie Madball.
Would you love that record?
Mackie.
Is there
Yeah.
certain songs you love in that
I
record?
wish you guys made more records.
Do you love? It could happen someday. Do you love those songs in there?
Yeah, of course I love
any
them. I can
particular
play.
songs?
I can play every single one.
Any particular ones you
Are
love?
you ready? Fool of the World.
In memory of that one? Or?
I remember in memory of Back Home.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a good
So
one.
do you think you love Hazen Street more than H2O or no?
I don't know. I literally know all the songs from both of the bands back in my hand. But like,
yeah.
I've heard H2O so many times. Like when you play I Want a Life, One Chance, I love that song. It's just like, oh my god, this song, I've heard it for the 1,000th time already.
I would say 5-year plans, like, oh, here comes Guilty, or 5-year plans.
But I like
all
those
right.
ones. Like sometimes One Life, One Chance, and then Sunday you get emotional, and it's like it's great, but it's like it's like, oh my god, here's a sad song. Everyone's like, yeah, oh my god, crying in the pit, like wow. Everyone's hugging.
That's
Yeah.
a special, important song. Max, that's the most realest song I've written in my whole
I know
entire
it's
life.
about your dad dying and then me.
I know. How do you feel about it? Is it weird, or is it?
Um,
Do you feel a connection to it though when you hear it?
Song to me. I mean, it's nice that you wrote it about me too.
Do you feel a connection to when you hear it? Like
Yeah, I know. I was born on Sunday morning.
But it's weird to have oh, it's a song about you, son. You have to like it. You don't have to like any of
No,
this
I
shit.
know.
Do you feel like you have to like H2O, these bands, or no?
No.
Would you tell me?
Sometimes I get sick of it when we're on the road and you play back to back. Sometimes you used to play 2 shows
in one day.
Dude, and I was like, oh my god, I was in a tour bus. And I never did that. I never once ever sat
That's
out on a show.
right.
I'm always there.
Did you ever get bored on tour?
No, never. Never once bored on tour.
It's always like
except
exploring.
when we did that one. It wasn't boring because we almost died. Oh, no, wait. The one show that we had,
Where
we
would
had that.
almost die.
Remember when Rusty was driving and we went through those tornadoes and those hurricanes and we would call Mom, we're like, we're gonna die.
Rusty was driving the head first into a fucking tornado hurricane.
That was insane.
Fearless
in Austin, Texas, and I was like,
fearless
we're gonna die.
fuck. And we're like, oh my god, Rusty, don't worry about it, I got you. And it's like sky is black. It's like, holy shit, that was a crazy.
I remember
day,
that
Max.
we were gonna die.
That was scary.
Yeah.
He's a great driver, but he's definitely scary.
Yeah, he was going like 90, trying to hit. We're gonna make it past the hurricane, the
We're gonna
tornado.
go right through it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I really hope we can go on tour again this summer, man. If things open up, I love having you on tour.
Yeah, it was fun.
We always book the tours around you getting out of school in June and go right to Europe, and it always just worked out. I'm just hoping that it will happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was really
You think
fun.
you forever like to come on tour, no matter how old you are?
Yeah, it's so fun.
Even from 70 years old playing H2O, and you're like in your
Wow. And
40s,
wheelchairs.
married with kids.
Yeah.
Do you want to have kids?
Yeah.
Is there a certain age you want to have kids at?
Not really.
Do you want to have more
I'll do
than
next
one
year.
kid?
I don't care.
You want to have more than one kid? I ain't trying to be a grandpa at fucking 50, but
No. Yeah. It depends on money.
yeah.
I'm not gonna have if I'm living in a box, I'm not even gonna have a kid.
I'm not
But
gonna be fucking living in the box. I'm not gonna let that happen to you.
okay.
So no matter what happens from here moving on out tomorrow when you're 18 to whatever you do in your life,
I'm moving out tomorrow.
stop.
I'm out.
We're always gonna be your parents. We always have your back. You can always live here or come back here. We're with you forever. This is this is forever, man. This isn't like, oh, you're old enough to move out, get out of here. No, this is.
But I got a complex up in Hollywood Hills.
Can I live there too? I'll move out there. Me and your mom will both come there with you. I'm excited to see what tattoo you get tomorrow, man.
Put you in the garage. Yeah, I'm excited too.
Are there anybody else you want to get tattooed by in your life? You have a list at all or no?
Luke Westman,
Nice.
Kat Von D,
Word.
Tim Hendricks.
Anybody else? It's hard to remember everybody's names. That's a pretty good list. That's a pretty good list right there.
Oh,
Warren Puente would be cool.
Warren Puente, of course.
Lindsay Carmichael.
Lindsay.
You have so many options.
And then I want to go to one really, really, really sketchy bad one and just see the difference between the ones that go somewhere like really bad and just check it out.
You were begging for a hand poke, but I was like, nah, you have to wait till you're 18. I had to wait till I was 18 too.
Yeah, well.
What's any inspiring words you can leave anybody with anything or? Do you
no shirt, no shoes, no dies.
Oh my God. Max, final question. Are you happy with your life so far?
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to do that you haven't done yet at a young age? Like, do you feel like you missed out on anything in your childhood from touring so much and not being in a normal life situation?
No.
Nothing. Do you feel like you gained more?
Yeah.
Do you feel like
I've gone to more countries and cities and places and continents than people who have when they're 50.
Yeah. But
some people.
But you appreciate and you learn from
yeah.
it. You're a well-rounded, cultured person. I feel like that's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talking to other humans in different countries and shit.
Yeah.
I'm most proud of that and appreciate that of my band that, and I worked hard to be in the band this long that I can have those perks to be able to take you on tour. I'm very lucky I could do that because it changed a lot. We had always great vacations, me and Mama.
Yeah.
Because of the band.
Those are so fun.
Yeah. Well, you look tired. I'm tired.
Thank you again to H2O. Shout out H2O.
Yes, sir. We love you. We appreciate you. And yeah, man, you were born a musician, skater, everything else, man. I admire that anything you put your mind to, you can do it when you focus on shit. Like, you only been surfing how long?
Year and a half.
You fucking kill it, man. You're doing like fucking airs and barrels and turns, and I'm learning new titles for those tricks and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I just hope you bring skating back one day.
I will. When we get that, you know.
Yeah, you were such a, we're getting a mini ramp. It's coming.
They're allowed to know, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting a mini ramp.
Mini ramp in the
We're
backyard.
not going to say where it's from, but we'll get a mini ramp soon, yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, thanks to all the listeners. Thanks for everybody supporting
Thank you.
me and the band, the podcast, and even my son. Like, you guys pretty much watched him grow up on social media. That's one more thing. You ever feel overexposed on social media that your whole life...
I don't really post personal things on
I'm saying on mine, and, we write about you in the records, blah, 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 but pictures you as a baby up until now. People have seen you grown on social media. Does that bother you?
No.
That our lives been kind of public in that sense way? Like...
Not really. I don't really care.
Doesn't really bother you?
No.
All right.
I wish some of my followers were like, you know, my age, but I like having diversity.
Why is there like a lot of old hardcore?
Yeah.
A lot of H2O fans are
Chilling.
following for real?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's cool though. My age range is 28 to 36, I think.
That's what it is on there?
Yeah.
You can see that on there?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That's crazy. I didn't know you could do that and see who's
Yeah, you
following
can check your activity.
All the old hardcore heads are following Max. I appreciate the support for that, but that's crazy, Max. I haven't even thought about that. I asked you that.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for listening. Mama, we love you, Mama Moon.
Love you.
We appreciate you, Moon. You did a great job raising this kid. Mama, you want to say a few? Come here, Mama. I want you to say a few words real quick about your son.
Everyone leave.
No, since he's turning 18 tomorrow. Come here, Moon. We need you in here, babe. Just for the.
I think she's studying.
Oh, she came here for 1 second. She loves us. Just for the final words, Moon. Final words you want to say about your son turning 18 tomorrow. Talk in the mic.
Are you gonna die?
No, just give some final words about your son turning 18.
Final words?
No, how do you feel about him as an 18-year-old adult tomorrow? Like him being raised, everything we did, raised in all around everything. Like, you have any words about
Good
Max?
job, Moon.
What about Papa?
You too.
Such a ball
Thanks,
breaker.
Daddy.
But anything you want to say to Max? Any word of advice or just anything about being his mom? He's turning 18 tomorrow, getting tattooed.
I'm gonna ground you before you turn 18.
All right, that was Moon Morse, ladies and gentlemen.
Classic.
Max, we fucking love you.
Love
And
you too.
I'm proud of my wife. And the journey still continues on. All right, Max, you're getting
Thank
tired.
you. I love you.
And stop drinking so much coffee and definitely shave that mustache.
Okay.
Thanks
you
for
too.
listening. We love you all, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Peace. Hey, guys. Thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast, please do that. And whatever platform you are listening to this on, I'm glad you found me. You can rate me and review me on there also. So thank you guys sincerely for the support. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the next one.